Today, I'm going to be rebuilding Borussia Dortmund from FIFA 14 all the way to FC 24. A team that over the decade has had so many world-class young players. Marco Reus, Robert Lewandowski, Erling Haaland, Jude Bellingham, and more. They are one of those teams where you wonder if they had all stayed together, what could they have accomplished? Well, today we're going to find that out. We're starting up this rebuild in FIFA 14 with this insane, iconic, retro Dortmund side. Look at some of the names, dude. Piszczek as well as Subotic. You got a young-ish Mats Hummels. Sven Bender, bloody Ilkay Gundogan is in this team, as well as my Wi-Fi password. Marco Reus, you got Robert Lewandowski. I mean, what a team, dude. Henrik Mkhitaryan from Armenia is their current center attacking midfielder. But at the end of this 2013-2014 season, Borussia Dortmund did indeed sell one of its better players, Mario Götze, to Bayern Munich. And you know what I'm thinking? Nah, I'm not going to cop that. We are going to keep Mario Götze at Borussia Dortmund. So many times over the years, this side sold its better players to Bayern, and there was no competition in the Bundesliga. That is not happening in this rebuild. So we are keeping Robert Lewandowski, Mario Götze, Marco Reus all together. On top of that, we're going to sign and sell other players and carry the team through all the way to FC 24. Be sure to like and especially subscribe if, you know, these rebuilds keep on hitting your feed. I don't know, you haven't yet, I'd appreciate it. But I'm going to start off by transfer listing some of the players that I'll probably be more keen to move on. And there is quite a fair few. One, unfortunately, is a fellow Australian and one of the most interesting people I have ever seen on the planet. We don't have a huge budget with Borussia Dortmund, and that's okay because I really only want to sign some backup fullbacks in this first season. I'm going to actually look in the loan list and see if there are any players that I can find. And I have come across some now. We've got Hector Bellerin from Arsenal, a right back, and he's only worth £50,000. Imagine paying for any player £50,000, let alone an 18-year-old from Arsenal. So yeah, I might bring him in, and another Spaniard, a little bit older, a little more expensive, but just a good backup, Marcos Alonso. Oh, for Christ's sake. I always get done by this, man. Come on. Fine, all right. Well, maybe we'll get Marcos Alonso in FIFA 15. Hector Bellerin, though, that should be hopefully pretty straightforward. God, and I'm already getting offers for Marco Reus. First one that comes for him is from Liverpool. Wouldn't that have been a crazy transfer back in the day? But no, arguably the most loyal footballer, potentially in the top flight. I mean, we have got to keep him still here. Cardiff City after Kevin Grosskreutz. Oh, man. God damn it, this Dortmund team had some hard to pronounce players back in the day. But yes, we accepted that one. Hector Bellerin accepts his contract. Only 56 overall, but I get the feeling that might fly up. But he's not challenging for the starting right back position, not yet. God, even just looking on the bench, there are so many players we can look forward to. Like, Aubameyang now looks great, but he's probably going to stick around and get even higher rated. And do not sleep on Jonas Hoffman either. That is a player, if we hold on to for long enough, it'll pay dividends. Goodbye, my poor gingy Australian friend. He's off. And we've now sold pretty much every player on that transfer list. And in deadline day, with like 2 hours to go, we get a last minute offer for Socrates. I don't know. Nah, I don't think I'll let him go. That is actually a really good offer. That's like almost double his value, but I don't think it's worth it. We've already let plenty of players go. We've dwindled our reserves down quite a fair bit. This season, Borussia Dortmund finished in second place in the Bundesliga, 19 points behind Dortmund. They lost the Deutsche Pokal final to Bayern Munich as well. Their dominance has to end in this rebuild. They're not getting Götze. We've kept him. They're sure as hell not getting Lewandowski. Let's see if holding on to these players changes the future of the German league, and maybe indeed the Champions League as well. Unfortunately, no league title, no Bundesliga. Once again, it goes to Bayern Munich. It might be like that quite a fair bit at the start. Hopefully, we can wrestle back control. But yeah, no cup finals, no Bundesliga, no Champions League to start things off. But like I mentioned, it's the start. Our fight to stop Bayern's Bundesliga dominance continues into FIFA 15. The 2015 season was indeed the season where Robert Lewandowski left Dortmund to go to Bayern on a free. But in this one, still leading the line as our number 9, Lewandowski's going nowhere. With Mario Götze in behind him, that's 2 of what would have been Bayern's better players at the time gone. Dortmund also signed Shigi Kagawa back from Manchester United. They signed Matthias Ginter, Kevin Campbell, and get this one, Ciro Immobile from Torino. Bloody hell, those are 4 terrific signings. So I've gone ahead and made all of those signings. I've kept Kagawa, of course. Matthias Ginter at 76, he's okay now. He'll only get better. And Ciro Immobile, we know, is going to become a very decently rated striker. With Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang also on the bench, with Gundogan and Royce and so many others coming down the line, this might actually be a rebuild where I don't even need to sign anyone myself. I think I might actually keep my own signings down to quite a minimum. We might just copy most of the real life signings for the majority of this. Of course, though, as I mentioned last season, I did want to pick up Marcos Alonso. I couldn't. I can now. So he is another sort of just, backup left back for us to bring in. And one of the themes of these rebuilds, especially in the past, was screwing over our rivals. We've been doing plenty of that already by keeping Goetze, keeping Lewandowski. Let's just do it again. Douglas Costa. This man would go on to join Bayern Munich next season, but I liked him. I really rated him. He was quite the baller, so I'm going to pick him up. Manchester coming calling for Gundogan, except this time it's United and not City, and this time, again, I will say no. So both Marcos Alonso and Douglas Costa are accepting their contracts. I'm doing literally everything I can to try to stuff up Bayern. Lovely, so in come these two lads then. In real life for Dortmund, this was actually quite a bit of a stinker season for them in the Bundesliga anyway. They came in 7th place. They did, however, win the Deutsche Pokal, so a mixed bag. I think this was the last season that Jurgen Klopp spent at Dortmund. Have we done enough already to possibly wrestle back control of the Bundesliga? Well, unbelievably, it's still not enough. In fact, we're sitting in 3rd. Bayer Leverkusen out of nowhere decided they want to be good. Bayern still have a game to play, so if they win it, they'll just win the Bundesliga again. Meanwhile, we have made the final of the Deutsche Pokal, and we have a chance to win it just like Dortmund did in real life. Well, in that case, we still can't get the Bundesliga. Let's at least get the first trophy. In the Olympia Stadion, still with Lewandowski, still with Goetze, and of course that man Marco Reus, with plenty other returning names too. Well, let's kick our trophy haul off with this then, hopefully. Underway. Oh, slid past him there. Beautifully done. What a goal! What a hit! Welcome back to Dortmund, Mario Goetze. Look at this, he just slips with some brilliant dribbling, the slide tackle, and a rocket into the corner. That is such a sublime hit. Wow, what a goal. Uh-oh, gap, big gap, block, brilliant defending. Oh, we did not get to that at all. Wow, that's lucky. Weidenfeller is a decent keeper for us now, but we will have to, in the future, think of someone. Mario Goetze's Thunder Strike has us in front, but only just. Oh, brilliant ball through. Keeper's come a long way for it. Oh, damn it. Dangerous. Where is the defense? No one's picking him up. Oh, my God. That is Robbie Cruz, the most... Oh, I don't want to go in on him, but one of the more useless Socceroos of all time. Why is an Aussie being unmarked at the back stick like that? And of course he smashes it in. How on earth is it of all people? God damn it. Well, come on. Good wriggling feet. Goetze brought down. Has to be a penalty. And I don't think that is. I think he's given that a free kick. Yellow card comes out, obviously, and for Robbie Cruz again. But I don't think he pointed to the spot. He looked like he was so in the box. Maybe not. It is a free kick. Oh my God. And it's Marco Reus to take it. Right on the edge of the box. Does it get up over the wall? It does! What a goal from Marco Reus! I thought it was a penalty. It doesn't matter. What a top bins finish from Marco Reus. Oh yes, if that wall had jumped, it was not getting in, but we will take it. Get in there, Marco Reus, of all people. I'm happy it's you. The fans go nuts. He may have just won us this trophy. And it's called, finally at last, oh, heart in mouth on many occasions. But a Marco Reus wonder free kick seals our first trophy of the rebuild. A free kick fit to win any game of football, let alone any trophy in the world. Lovely stuff. It's lifted up by the captain, Matt Hummels. And that's trophy number 1, ladies and gentlemen. God, what a blinder of a free kick. I don't score many in FC 24, so that was sweet. And typical Bayern Munich won their game in hand and won the Bundesliga. I am sick to death of these pricks. But anyway, that is FIFA 15 down. On we go to FIFA 16. This season saw the departures of Kevin Campbell and Ciro Immobile, which is really weird considering they only signed them last season, both of them. The Polish Wi-Fi password Blaszczykowski also left, as well as Jonas Hoffman. But again, we are still hanging on to both of them. They brought in this season Gonzalo Castro. I don't think I'll go for him. But 2 players that they did pick up was Roman Burki, I think that's how you say it anyway, the goalkeeper, and Julian Weigl as well. I might pick up both of those 2, especially with the keeper, since he now becomes our highest rated goalkeeper after Weidenfeller has dropped down to 79. With one fella going to be 35 at the end of this season, getting on, I might almost sign another goalkeeper. Might almost trade him for someone else just to compete with Berkey. Let me actually go ahead and do my other trick of looking for loan listed players and seeing if anyone pops up. In my searches, I have found another goalkeeper I wouldn't mind bringing in. It'd be more of a backup, but Cohen Casteels. He's only worth like 2.5 mil, so nice and cheap. Maybe the straight swap for one fella is on the cards as well. Yes, we're taking him off of a rival in Wolfsburg. I care way more about Bayern Munich personally. So our goalkeeper options are now Roman Berkey, we've got Mitch Langerak, and we've now got Casteels as the backup, who I'm sure will shoot up. He's definitely overtaking Langerak pretty quick. We have an all 80 rated starting 11 for the first time, by the way. We just need, I don't know, like Kago has dropped off a bit. Even Gundogan's overall's kind of dropped off a bit too. I feel like next season we're going to have a really good chance in the Bundesliga. This season might be a bit tough, but we'll see. Yeah, sadly, a bit of a shambolic go of it in the Bundesliga, only just scraping into the top 4 for the Champions League, and no surprise, Bayern Munich have won it again, even without Lewandowski and without Goetze and Douglas Costa as well. It's ridiculous, dude. They're so strong. Deutsche Pokal, we unfortunately didn't make the final, but the Champions League, we didn't make the final of either. But we drew 3-3 with Barcelona in the semi, so we were that close to a first Champions League final. We almost had a De Classica final as well. Bayern Munich just unfortunately losing out. Well, not unfortunately. No, what am I talking about? Fuck Bayern Munich. We hate those pricks. You know, I thought we were doing a pretty good job so far of really screwing over Bayern Munich with Lewandowski, with Costa, with Goetze. It's not enough. It's not enough, very clearly. They've won 3 Bundesligas in a row now. It's not enough. It's not enough. We're doing more as we go to FIFA 17. Well, this is concerning. You see that microphone right there? For some reason, my microphone said, you know what? Fuck the one reason I exist. I'm not gonna record any audio. Yeah, for some reason my mic wasn't working between FIFA 17 and sadly FIFA 18. So we're gonna switch it up with some post commentary for a second. Let me walk you all through it. Firstly, in FIFA 17, the starting 11 now looks like this. It got a huge bump in overall across the board. We continued screwing over Bayern Munich by signing David Alaba, swapping him with Blaszczykowski plus cash. We also let go and sold a couple of players as well. We were on top of the Bundesliga with 1 game to go, and we won our last game of the season to seal the Bundesliga title, our first Bundesliga title. No Deutsche Pokal, no Champions League, but finally at last, Dortmund are champions of the Bundesliga. Then, of course, we moved over to FIFA 18. My microphone continued to be a teenage rebel, not doing what it's told. We turned the starting 11 into a 4-4-2 formation to accommodate both Robert Lewandowski and Aubameyang. And to continue the trend of really trying to screw up Bayern, we made an almighty move to sign Manuel Neuer. We had to spend everything to get him, but we took him off of Bayern's hands to hopefully really collapse their title chances. And thankfully, that appeared to work again. We won a second straight Bundesliga title. But the exact same as last season, we won the league, but that was it. No Deutsche Pokal and no Champions League final just yet for this Dortmund team. But anyway, apologies, back to normal, over to FIFA 19. In this season, Dortmund sold off Christian Pulisic to Chelsea. They let go of Yarmolenko as well as Socrates. They brought in Thomas Delaney. They brought in Marius Wolf, Paco Alcacer. I won't go for them, but I will recreate the 2 most expensive signings of this season, which were, of course, Amadou Diallo and Axel Witsel. The 4-4-2 formation, still serving as best, have to have 2 strikers up top with both Lewandowski and Aubameyang primed for both of these players here. Picking up Axel Witsel is pretty good too, since he's pretty well like the highest rated midfielder now straight away. The substitutes, the reserves, absolutely ridiculous. You didn't think you could get any better. They also loaned in Hakimi this season. Eventually, they would make it a permanent transfer. The director of football was just cooking, bro. I mean, he was ahead of his time in a crazy way. You know, Piszczek is definitely the lowest rated player in our starting 11, but with Hakimi now in our reserves, just wait a bit. Wait a season or 2. I can honestly, not make a single transfer for the rest of this rebuild. We'll be fine. I'll just recreate all the signings they actually made, hold on to the good ones. Maybe the one move I might make this season, just for the sake of it, is we've got a nearly 30-year-old Sven Bender. He's not in our starting 11. Probably won't ever really be again. I might just replace him with someone 10 years younger. Jules Koundé here, still at Bordeaux, maybe before Barcelona can snag it. I reckon a cheeky little straight swap plus some cash might work. And terrific, that is that done done there. Jules Koundé is in, and a much needed signing that. I mean, we're very weak in the centre-back department. Bloody hell, we are not weak in any department, and we won't be for the rest of this rebuild. What do we accomplish this season? Well, terrific stuff. We have bagged another Bundesliga title, and by a decent enough margin. We really have screwed over Bayern Munich. We can almost tick that off and say mission accomplished. They're finishing now only just every season in the top 4. We just have to shift our focus now to getting in the Champions League final, which we have still not been able to do, even with the team we've got now. Jumped out by Atletico Madrid. We're winning 2-1 in the first leg, lose the second leg 3-1, and that's it. For us to have only won 4 trophies at this point in the rebuild, I won't lie, it's a bit concerning. We've got at least like 12 maybe to 15 on average per like 10-year rebuild. So this is a bit slow. From FIFA 20 onwards, we're going to have to be on another level of dominance. Again, quite a few players left Dortmund in real life. Guys like Alexander Isak, Maximilian Philipp, as well as Weigl, Paco Alcacer. They brought in Nico Schultz. They brought in Thorgan Hazard, actually. And Mats Hummels, they brought him back. Again, he never left. Not with us anyway. He's always been in that back 4. But they also brought in another player this season, a striker by the name of Erling Haaland. This is now an absolute utter piss take. 91 rated and 88 rated Lewandowski and Aubameyang up top. You've got an 87 rated Ciro Immobile who can't even crack into the starting 11 at an 87. And now in the reserves, Erling freaking Haaland and Alexander Isak, who is a fine damn good striker right now in real life as well. These are all players at some point that were on Borussia Dortmund's squad, as well as all these others like Jadon Sancho's now up to an 86. Hakimi, he's now the starting right back over Piszczek. Julian Brandt was also signed this season as well, so he becomes one of the best players. He'll become a midfielder. You've also got the American Giovanni Reina, who's come up from the youth academy this season too. I cannot believe how good this Dortmund side A could have been in real life, and B, how good it is right now for it not to have won a Champions League, or let alone made a final. At 34 years of age, he's been such a great servant, but we probably can't afford to let him move on now. That is Piszczek sold off to Marseille. God knows what else needs to be done to win this team its first Champions League of this rebuild. Surely I don't need to go out and sign goddamn Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar just for this team to have a shot of a Champions League. I'm loving our Bundesliga dominance, but we need that European trophy. Brother, I can't make sense of what I am seeing. How are we not getting out of our group? How are we not doing that at a bare minimum? Are you really telling me this is a Europa League team? Are you taking the piss, FIFA? Every damn rebuild, we always somehow fall into Europa League with a team that's almost always a lock for knockout stage Champions League football. It's happened here again. We've got Borussia Dortmund in a final, a European final at last, just not the one that we wanted. And of all teams, it's Wolverhampton Wanderers, who, to be fair, were okay at this time. Well, god damn it then, but whatever. I cannot make sense of how this Dortmund side is not absolutely burying the competition in the Champions League, but at least we have a shot of another trophy. With only like 4 titles in the last 6 to 7 years, with this squad, with this ridiculous team, with freaking all the stars we've signed from Bayern Munich whilst keeping them from going there, it just hasn't made any sense to me. But can we please at least right some of the wrongs here with hopefully a dub? Oh, wow, he's already caught napping already. Lewandowski's got daylight toward goal, and he'll bury it in the bottom corner too easy. What are we doing in this competition? It's a piss take. It's a waste of our time. What are Wolverhampton Wanderers doing in the final of a European Cup as well? Lewandowski with literally a perfect finish into the bottom corner. That is magnificent. Oh, look at this. He's so open. How are the finesse shots this year? How's Aubameyang? Oh! How on earth has that stumbled its way in? Almost looks like he handballed the ball to get it to sit for him. And even then, Rui Patricio, it only comes off of his thigh. Well, both of our strikers hit the back of the net within the opening bloody 16 minutes. Maybe head this one down for him. Oh, Axel Witsel, that's not a free kick. I don't know what is. Axel Witsel was lucky not to break his neck with that sort of fall. Thankfully, his afro's there to bloody cushion it. Goddamn, only 2 minutes of stoppage time, and not even Portuguese-era Wolverhampton Wanderers could stop this Dortmund team. The new Dortmund captain, Marco Reus, who's already lifted up a couple Bundesligas by this point, now lifts up a Europa League trophy. We will take it, But where is that Champions League? We're actually quickly kind of running out of time. We have only got a handful of seasons left to pick it up. Can we hopefully do it in the next one? We have become the new Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga. That is, what, 4, 5 in a row now? It is 4, only 4. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. But we pretty confidently secure the title again. We've been garbage in the Deutsche Pokal as of late as well. We've only won it once in this whole rebuild too. Look, you can't complain with 2 trophies in a season. That's not bad, right? But I am going to complain. I'm always going to complain until eventually we get to that final in the Champions League. Will it happen in FIFA 21? Couple of players leaving Dortmund this season, like top-rack Mario Götze left on a free, and Andre Schürrle retired at the age of like 29. They brought into Dortmund Thomas Munir, they brought in Emre Can from Juventus, but the big one was that of Jude Bellingham for £30 million from Birmingham. Just 17 years of age, we have got Jude Bellingham. He will soon be a part, surely, of our midfield. Because once again, even though most of the players have remained the same, the starting 11 is always going through an evolution every season. Haaland's now high enough rated that he can pair alongside Lewandowski. Aubameyang is moved to the left-hand side. That now means that Marco Reus is moved into midfield. Gundogan now starts again. Sancho's 87, so he's on the right. David Alba's moved to centre-back, so Guerrero goes in at left-back, and of course Hakimi is now the starting right-back, of course, still. And poor 87-rated Ciro Immobile is still not in the starting 11. I have transfer listed a couple of players. Some players can probably move on. Socrates can go, Marcus Alonso's going to go, Kevin Campbell can probably leave as well, and Hector Bellerin. The only players I might bring in this season, I reckon, will be a new left-back and right-back. Just 2 younger backups. We're going to go with Tyrell Malacia here at left-back, and at right-back we're going to go with Arnau Martinez, 17, 65, very young, but I think he might be quite the player. And also, I love a player that can play at right back, centre back, and left back. Sweet then, so that's those 2 added onto the Dortmund list as well. Martinez and Malacia, M&M. Another shake-up to the squad, a shake-up to the starting 11, the addition of Jude Bellingham, and with only a handful more seasons to go, do we make the Champions League this time around? Well, we can go ahead and lock in another Bundesliga win. That is 5 in a row. We've pretty much become the very thing we swore to destroy. We're now almost as bad as Bayern. Our inability to win the Deutsche Pokal continues, as well as our inability to make the final of the Champions League. Right now, we are on track, okay, for being the first team in all these 10-year rebuilds to not win a Champions League, or just to even make a UCL final. Yay, we will take trophy number 7, and yes, we will take 5 Bundesligas in a row. But I can't feel like we're just coming up short in some way. Like, maybe with the addition now of Prime Haaland, we've got an up-and-coming Bellingham. Maybe in FIFA 22, it finally all comes together. This season, Borussia Dortmund sold Jadon Sancho to Manchester United for huge money. That move has not quite worked out for him, so in this one, he's staying at Dortmund, probably for the whole thing. He may not keep his starting 11 spot for the rest of the rebuild, but he may do. They signed both Marlon and Kobel, the goalkeeper, and I reckon I might actually go for both of those too. He becomes our highest rated reserve goalkeeper. Roman Berkey's starting to drop off a little. I'm actually adding him to the transfer list. I'll let go of him. I'll probably let go of 2 centre-backs here, and Abdou Diallo, Zagadou, and also Axel Witsel is going to start to drop, even though he was probably one of our highest rated midfielders a couple of seasons ago. Jude Bellingham is 82 overall now. I mean, there might be 1 or 2 other slightly higher rated players like Mikel Merino or Julian Brandt maybe, but we already know Jude Bellingham is going to be dominating in that midfield at least next season, no question. But could it maybe finally happen this season? Our Bundesliga winning streak, it's over. It's RB Leipzig that have snatched it from us. A solitary point, and that's the end of our streak. Once again, our inability to win the Deutsche Pokal comes through, knocked out in the semi-final. And again, in the Champions League, we lose in the semi-finals. We were going up into that second leg 2-1. We lose 3-1. We don't make the final. And we go trophyless with this Dortmund team. Could this actually be the first rebuild where the Champions League final just does not happen? I don't know what else to say. It just looks like it's not happening, despite all the quality, all the depth. Doesn't matter. Erling Haaland and Robert Lewandowski, when you have that as a strike partnership and it can't win anything, make it make sense. Only 2 seasons remain to do it now. It's FIFA 23. Manchester City took two big names off of Dortmund this season, one being Manuel Akanji, the other one, of course, being Erling Haaland. Akanji, not quite a starting 11 player just yet, but Erling Haaland is still right alongside Lewandowski in this ungodly strike partnership that is somehow not producing jack shit. They signed Anthony Modeste, they signed Sebastian Haller this season. I'm going to skip on those, but I will make the signings of Karim Adeyemi, Nico Schlotterbeck, and Nicolas Sewell. Especially since Nicolas Sewell becomes pretty much the highest rated centre back now in this back four. Jadon Sancho's dropped to an 83 overall, so he's lost his spot in the starting 11 already to Dembele, and we see the starting 11 once again evolve ever so slightly. Should also mention, as well as Karim Adeyemi, Moukoko has also come up from the youth academy too. The team is and looks amazing, but we very clearly know by now that something is just missing. It's just not working. I have £81 million in my budget. I'm still going to raise some revenue. I've transfer listed Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, 33 years of age now, and Marc Bartra, probably an older player that's not really getting starting 11 game time. We got plenty of other great center backs. I'm going to sell them on, and then with the money, I don't know, we're just going to bring in whoever we can. The highest rated player possible. Already got an offer from AC Milan for him, so we can take that. Aubameyang's heading off there, and Marc Bartra also going off to Italy to, I believe that would be Napoli. So Bartra done, Aubameyang done, they're sold off, and our budget jumps to 121 million. We don't need to worry about strikers, probably don't need to worry about a goalkeeper with Neuer. Defense looks good, midfield looks all right. Maybe that right-hand side, maybe a new right winger, maybe someone that can play both positions, both CM and right wing, like Fede Valverde. Gonna be hard to get him off Real Madrid's hands, I know, but it's maybe, hopefully, a deal we can do. Ancelotti wants 40 million. What if I was to chuck in, say, Julian Brandt to bring down that price? 110 million plus Julian Brandt. Will they go for it? Yes, they will. We are losing Julian Brandt. We are adding in Federico Valverde. That is a great pickup right there, in my opinion anyway. And lads, I'm getting aggressive with this, okay? Valverde, I'm playing at a right wing position. Yes, he can also go center mid. Maybe I go back to playing a usual 4-4-2, but I'm just going all out now. 4-2-4. Let's really push him up. Let's go all out attack. What we've been doing has not been working. I'm done playing games. We're going full send into this season. Is this maybe the season we make the Champions League final? Well, at least back to winning ways in the Bundesliga. Christ, six Bundesligas. That's clearly way better than what Dortmund have done in real life. Let's be real. It's just the cup competitions. We can't do jack in. I do not see Dortmund anywhere in this Champions League final. And if I switched over to the semi-finals tab and I showed you that we got knocked out in the semi-finals again, would you believe me? Of course we have. Of course we have. This is unbelievable now. I don't know what else I am supposed to do. I am burning through my cash. I'm holding on to all these stars. We have a Haaland Lewandowski strike partnership. We've held on to Jude Bellingham, and we've got Manuel Neuer in goal. 526. We have 26 80+ rated players, and we just keep winning the league over and over again, but nothing else. How do we only win one Deutsche Pokal? I am at my wit's end, ladies and gentlemen. I have no idea how this hasn't translated into more, how it's not been at least a Champions League final. But this star-studded Dortmund side has one more season in it, one final opportunity to become European champions. Do we pull it off? Off to FC 24. And in the final season of this rebuild, Dortmund let go, of course, of Jude Bellingham, going to Real Madrid, while bringing in players like, Nicholas Fulkrug, Marcel Sabitzer, Felix Nemcha, and look, I'm not going to bother with any. I've moved back to basically a 4-4-2. Valverde's out wide. Gundogan and Bellingham, who is, of course, still here, not at Real Madrid. Shout out to Ousmane Dembele, actually, up to an 86. That's quite handy. And a big call here is I'm going to go and put Kobel as the starting goalkeeper over Manuel Neuer. They're the same overall now, but clearly it hasn't been working with Neuer. We barely have any players in our squad at all below an 80 overall, apart from maybe just a handful. But I mean, seriously, we have the depth to go long in the league, which is probably why we've won it so much. But we still have the starting 11 quality to win the big games, the Champions Leagues. one Deutsche Pokal, man. But this is it though. So much Bundesliga success, but only one cup trophy outside of the Bundesliga. No Champions League finals. In the final season, do we find the way, the will to get into that UCL final? And after dethroning Bayern Munich, we are right back where we started. They have beaten us in the last Bundesliga title race. Holy crap. They've also won the Deutsche Pokal. Can't believe it. Honestly, what else do you want me to say? I would feel pretty pissed off right now if we didn't finally make the Champions League final. Of course, Bayern Munich have to be our opponents. They're the ones going for the treble. You knew if we were gonna make it, it had to be them. Finally, we have made it. I have seen and I am seeing certain players like Lewandowski and Gundogan really dropping in overall though. But Mikel Merino looks to be a much better option, so I've held on to him for a while. We're finally gonna play him, and in a Champions League final. But at long last, it's happened. A Champions League final, finally, for Dortmund. Winning less than 10 trophies with this team is kind of shocking. But if we can get this Champions League, maybe I'll feel a bit better about it. We're about to get it kicked off and underway then, ladies and gentlemen. Off and underway. If you've made it this far, be sure to like and subscribe. Let's take down these Bayern bastards. Well, they've got a man down here. Could I be really scummy and sneak a goal? Not quite. Bellingham just got that pass through. Could be Haaland. Oh, what a save in the end. Be a ball swinging in from the corner. Only Haaland. Oh, keeper's out of position. Haaland again. Get it in there. And still we are level at the break. Quite the run. Oh, come on. Dembele scooches around one. Love that pass. Fucking hell, this goalkeeper is ridiculous. Hey, Jude, what have you got? Oh, Conrad Lymere. Alaba. Maybe this time. Yes! With the bullet header! Lewandowski finally! The new appointed captain of Borussia Dortmund, and he gives us the lead. We are not letting Bayern win this treble. We are getting that damn Champions League. Dembele into the middle. Could be, should be. Erling Haaland off of the woodwork. Lewandowski opens up. Could be Fede Valverde. Haven't made too many transfers myself in this rebuild. Different to normal. I've been okay with just letting the old mob, the old players that didn't stick around, take over. But we make the signing of Fede Valverde, and now he's a Champions League final goal scorer. Not completely over and done with. Not just yet. Get rid of it. It's cleared. Crap, if that went in, we'd be panicking big time. They are pushing, but they may be pushing just a little bit too late here, Bayern Munich. It's saved easily, and the referee blows his whistle. It took us 10 straight seasons to get to this stage, but finally we make it, and finally we are Champions League champions. And to do it with the old group of players that left that became superstars, to do it against Bayern, that's pretty damn satisfying. It's not exactly 30 trophies and 7 Champions Leagues, but the manner in which we did get it, boy, that was satisfying. Robert Lewandowski, in the yellow and black where he's always looked best, wins the Champions League and lifts up the Champions League trophy. Thank you all for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, be sure to click on this video to watch another one as well.